Aloha everyone, I'm Malika Deadly, and we are in Halawa Valley with Anakala Pilipo Solatorio. And boy, what an interesting story. This man has so many stories to tell. One I want to focus on right now is your recollection of the April 1st, 1946 tsunami. Could you just tell me from when you found out about it and your experience that day?
Okay, on March 31st, 1946, we had a phone call from the police department saying there will be a tsunami hitting the Hawaiian Islands the next day. And the next day was April 1st, 1946. And at that time, we were not familiar with the word tsunami, or that name. It's Japanese, you know. So in our culture back here in Halawa, because we only spoke Hawaiian, and my family here wasn't too sure about tsunami. But it was always a common thing with the kupunas here in our home. There's something that they don't quite understand. They will call all the families together. It's like making ho'oponopono. And they will discuss, yeah. And then we all went to bed. Then 2 o'clock in the morning, we raised a lot of hogs, a lot of dogs, a lot of cats, a lot of chickens. And we raised a lot of animals. 2 o'clock in the morning, every animal in the valley was wide awake. And at that time, we didn't have all these trees like you see here today. And the animals were running all over the place. And Grandpa went out and checked on the animals and came back in the house and said, okay, ohana ala, meaning to wake up, got together, and we went into prayer again. And this time, Grandpa was very, very serious. And then after prayer and everything, then Grandpa paused and looked at everybody. Then he says, ho'olohe, means to listen, and maka'ala, yeah, to be on the alert. Something is definitely going to happen. But what was it? Still, we wasn't too sure. So we all sat down and waited. And then Grandpa says, okay, we'll put all the children back to sleep, and all the oldest ones all stay awake. And we're going to wait for what the next sign going to be. So we waited and waited, and in this valley at that time, the women folks, they get up early in the morning and to go down to the beach, kuka kuka, talk story, and the men folks call that women talk. Not too long after they went to the beach, in fact, they didn't get all the way down, and they noticed that the ocean was receding a long ways, and they start running to the church. Some rang the bell and yelling out to the husbands, kai e, kai e, kai e. And so that meaning tsunami or big wave or tidal wave. And also yelling to the husbands, don't forget the children. So just above on the house here, on the highway is mile 27. And that time we didn't have that mileage sign out there. And when we got up there, the women folks was already there. And then we went up in high air. When we looked down into the ocean, the waters were receding out, yeah, a long ways out. And then what we saw was a wall of water. Then we watched that wall of water. It was now coming into the valley. But when it came into the valley, it didn't go far into the valley. It just went so far, and they went back out. And then when it went back out, it went much farther and much higher. And so when we looked at it and we saw these waves, it was so high that it was really kind of spooky. And then we noticed that a lot of splashing going on in the ocean, and there was huge potholes with a lot of fish in it. Then we saw the ocean coming in, and it just covered the whole valley, and went about 1.7 miles into the valley, about 111 feet high. And staying up on this higher part of the mountain area with the main road was looking down into the valley. We saw the waves coming in and just one big solid wave and just picked up the houses and everything that was in a low area. And we see it float all the way up into the valley. And the most frightening experience for me, even till today, is when I tell a story, don't mind me, that I can still see it and still hear it, watching them floating and then watching it going back out with all boulders rolling, banging, all the cracking sound, and then it all disappeared, and nothing was left, you know. And that was the most frightening experience for me. And, having that kind of experience in my life at that young age,
How old are you?
6.5 years old.
And do you remember how many waves you witnessed?
It was only that two big waves, but each time it was getting smaller and smaller, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Yeah, it's nothing. But that's exactly what I saw and what I remember.
So you remember the homes and the destruction that was occurring. What was the aftermath like?
Saw the pictures over there, and it was terrible. But for the tower terraces, what it did was it covered it up mostly with sand, and it didn't destroy the tower terraces, but it filled it up with sand. And then when we went back, tried to plant the tower, because we need to be replanted, and nothing would grow because of the salt content. And we have to redo the irrigation ditch to bring in more water and to flush all that salt out of the tower patches. And we did that, and it lasted for about 6 months, seems like it was long. And then went back to plant, and everything grew back.
If you had any advice for people about tsunami dangers, what would your advice be to people?
People who do not understand what a tsunami is, I was in Honolulu and experienced a tsunami warning when I was living at Waikiki with some friends, and we were all surfers at that time. And when they had a tsunami warning, and I look at all my friends and they say, "Get up," and they were taking their surfboard. And I said, "So what's going on?" They said, "We've got a tsunami warning, and we're going out and check out the waves." And they took their surfboard. And so they said, "So where you going?" I said, "I'm taking my surfboard. I'm going up on Diamond Head." I said, "You don't want to be down there. If we really have a tidal wave, you won't survive to tell a story." I said, it is very dangerous, and it is not the kind of wave that you should go out there and play with it, because you won't survive, because you don't know what's inside that ocean there." Yeah. So I said, it's very, very dangerous. So I went up and I waited, watching, looking down at Waikiki, but they had canceled it. And then I went back, and all the boys came back, and I said, I'm glad that it didn't happen, because if it did, we wouldn't see each other. Yeah. I said, listening to the warnings, I've been through that kind of, and I saw with my own eyes what it was like. It's not a place to go with a surfboard or go swimming or anything. Stay away, listen to the warning. Yeah.
This is why oral histories are so important too. You know, you saw this with your own eyes, so it's powerful for you to be able to share your story with others to make them understand the dangers, because if you don't see it, it is easy to take it lightly. Right. And there were no fatalities here in Halawa Valley, but you are the remaining survivor that witnessed it.
Yeah, I'm the last living descendant in Halawa Valley, and I can talk about these things because all what I'm saying, it's not just a story. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, yeah. And I just wanted to share that so that if anybody's listening there, said, hey, I've been there and I know what it's like. Yeah.
Mahalo for sharing that with us. Right, for much more, make sure you go to our website, mauinow.com. Ahuiho.